fucking a cold day today to be walking around in shorts. That dog didn't know what to make of it. I tell you what, for like just like an everyday commuter, like if you just live in a city and you gotta drive through the city, you know, you don't have to do a lot of highway traveling or interstate traveling. A SuperMoto I think is just ideal. Like the DRZ, I mean, it's, or like the WR250X, you know, if you're adamant about fuel injection. But I just think a SuperMoto is such a good way to get around town. I mean, you could probably lane split really easy on this thing. I have a little bit, and I mean, it's you can easily get it through traffic. It gets good mileage. Like I'm averaging at least 60, and that's even with all my hooning around. I usually average anywhere between 55 and 65. It just kind of all depends on what terrain I'm riding on or what I'm doing. And I'm sure that that's off a little bit. I'm sure I get a little better mileage than what I actually am figuring, because I'm going off my trip meter. And I've been, you know, popping wheelies and stuff, so anytime the front tire comes off the ground, the speedometer runs off the front tire. The speedometer slows down or stops. Most of the time you can't see that in the video because you know, the bike is up in the air higher, so you can't see the speedometer, but that's usually what happens. So my mileage is going to be off every time I get gas. That's what I like actually about this bike, is that the speedometer runs off the front wheel. So like when you're off in the dirt and you pin it and you're spinning the tire, it's not like racking up fake miles. Like if you're doing a burnout on a sport bike, it's racking up fake miles essentially. Because I'm pretty sure that's based off the gearbox. But the only thing is, when you're riding a wheelie, then you don't have as many miles on your bike as what you're actually supposed to. So you gotta watch that, I guess, especially like oil changes and shit. But I don't live in that big of a city, so I mean, like, even if I worked in town, I probably wouldn't bother riding it. But if you lived in a bigger city and you know, you had to work your way through traffic and stuff, I think a SuperMoto, or you know, just a dual sport in general, would be such a great idea. You know, as long as you don't get caught, you can easily lane split where you're not supposed to, and jump up on a sidewalk and cut through the city park, and I mean, shit, you can do about anything you wanted as long as you just don't get caught. But I mean, you could do that a lot easier on this than you could a sport bike. I guess he liked my bike. I don't know if he was waving or what he was doing. Or maybe they realize they're on camera. Some people realize they're on camera, so then they feel they have to wave. definitely a cold one out here today. If you've been watching my videos and you think something looks funny, I moved my handlebars up to give me like a little bit higher position when I'm standing. Now when I'm standing, I really like the positioning because I do stand up a lot. But now it's just I can fully grip them. My arms are straight down, but I can fully grip my handlebars. I really like where they're at now, and they feel good when I'm sitting on it. Whereas before they were all the way on 0, they're on like the line 2. The top of the thing is on line 2. If you can see that, but I like where they're at, right? You know, when I'm just cruising now. Like before, like I said, they were down just too low, and I didn't care for it, so I popped them up a little bit.